Have you ever felt like there's more to life than what you see? That something inside you is trying to wake up? What if every thought, emotion, and reaction you've ever had was part of a hidden map guiding your evolution? This audio will open your eyes to the 7 levels of consciousness, and nothing will feel ordinary again. 1. Understanding consciousness. Consciousness is the invisible force behind every human experience. It's not just awareness of your surroundings. It's the awareness of yourself within them. Every thought, decision, and emotion arises from your current state of consciousness. Most people live their lives reacting to circumstances, unaware that the true control lies within their own awareness. Consciousness operates like a frequency. The higher your vibration, the clearer your perception of life becomes. At lower frequencies, the world feels heavy and hostile. At higher ones, it feels light, connected, and purposeful. To understand consciousness means to recognize that your reality mirrors your inner state. If your mind is trapped in fear or resentment, life seems filled with obstacles. But when you shift toward courage, love, or compassion, the same world begins to feel full of possibilities. This awareness marks the first step toward transformation, realizing that your life changes the moment your consciousness rises. 2. The power of awareness. Awareness is the turning point between living unconsciously and consciously. It's not about fixing every problem instantly, but about noticing your inner reactions without judgment. Awareness separates you from the automatic patterns that have ruled your life, the fears, the insecurities, the habits of comparison and control. The moment you become aware of a pattern, it begins to lose its power over you. When you witness your thoughts instead of being consumed by them, you move from being a participant in chaos to being the observer of it. This shift creates emotional freedom. For example, instead of saying, "I am angry," you recognize anger is present within me. That single shift moves your identity from the emotion to the awareness behind it. Over time, this awareness expands. You begin to see how every external situation is simply reflecting your internal vibration. Once you grasp this truth, you can consciously choose how to respond rather than react. Awareness is the foundation upon which higher consciousness is built. 3. The 7 levels of consciousness. Each human operates primarily from one of 7 vibrational levels. These levels are not moral judgments but energetic frequencies, states of being that determine how we interpret life. Level 1. Shame. At this level, people feel unworthy of love or acceptance. Their self-image is deeply damaged and they carry heavy guilt or regret. Life feels meaningless because the person's energy is turned inward with self-condemnation. Level 2. Guilt. Here, individuals dwell on what they've done wrong or failed to achieve. Their minds replay past mistakes, keeping them emotionally stuck. Guilt drains creativity and blocks self-compassion. Level 3. Fear. In this state, people are motivated by survival. They worry about loss, rejection, or failure. Decisions are made to avoid pain rather than to pursue joy. Fear narrows perception and creates a constant sense of insecurity. Level 4. Anger. Anger arises when fear transforms into frustration. It can be destructive but also catalytic, a signal that someone is ready to reclaim power. When directed constructively, anger becomes the energy that drives change. Level 5. Courage. This level marks the turning point. Individuals begin to take responsibility for their emotions and circumstances. They stop blaming others and start seeing challenges as opportunities to grow. Life starts to open up. Level 6. Love. Love here is not romantic. It's unconditional acceptance and empathy. People at this frequency radiate kindness and inspire trust. They forgive easily, knowing that everyone is on their own journey. Life feels harmonious and relationships flourish. Level 7. Enlightenment. At the highest state, one transcends the ego entirely. There is unity with all creation. No separation, no judgment, only awareness and peace. Few people sustain this permanently, but glimpses of it can transform everything. Each level represents a doorway. Once you walk through, your worldview permanently changes, and there is no going back to unconscious living. 4. Emotional and spiritual growth. Emotional growth is the process of moving from lower levels of consciousness to higher ones by observing, accepting, and releasing emotional blocks. Every negative feeling you experience is an invitation to grow. For instance, fear shows you where you lack trust in life, and anger reveals where your boundaries have been crossed. Instead of resisting emotions, growth begins when you allow yourself to feel them fully without identifying with them. Spiritual growth, on the other hand, is about remembering your true nature beyond the body and mind. It's the realization that you are not just a person experiencing life. You are consciousness itself experiencing being human. This understanding doesn't come through logic. It comes through silence, meditation, and inner reflection. As you evolve emotionally, your spirit automatically expands, leading to a more centered, compassionate, and purposeful existence. To grow, you must be willing to see your inner shadows, the fears, judgments, and attachments you hide even from yourself. Healing begins the moment you stop running from discomfort and start listening to what it's teaching you. Each breakthrough in emotional honesty lifts your vibration closer to love and inner peace. 5. Breaking free from low vibrations. Low vibrations like shame, guilt, fear, and anger are heavy states that trap the mind in cycles of pain. Breaking free requires conscious effort to replace reaction with reflection. The first step is awareness, recognizing when you are caught in a low frequency. The second step is acceptance, acknowledging your current state without resistance. Resistance strengthens the emotion, acceptance dissolves it. Next comes release. Techniques like deep breathing, journaling, prayer, or meditation can help discharge negative energy from the body. Forgiveness is one of the most powerful tools for liberation, not necessarily forgiving others for their actions, but forgiving yourself for holding on to the pain. When you forgive, you reclaim the energy that was bound in resentment. Another method is gratitude. Gratitude shifts focus from what's wrong to what's right. It instantly raises your vibration and rewires your mind toward abundance. Even the act of finding one positive thing in a dark situation creates light. The more you practice these steps, the less control low vibrations have over you. Over time, peace becomes your natural state rather than a temporary feeling. 6. Living in higher consciousness. Living in higher consciousness means you no longer operate from fear or ego, but from awareness and love. You begin to see life as interconnected. Every event, person, and experience serves a deeper purpose. At this level, you don't chase happiness. It flows from within because your mind and heart are aligned. Decisions made in higher consciousness are guided by intuition rather than impulse. You stop reacting defensively and start responding thoughtfully. Relationships become more authentic because you communicate from understanding instead of judgment. Even challenges are perceived differently, not as punishments, but as lessons for growth. In this state, gratitude becomes natural. You feel thankful not only for what's easy, but also for what once felt hard, recognizing that everything shaped your awakening. Compassion deepens, and you feel connected to humanity as a whole. Life becomes simpler, not because everything is perfect, but because you no longer resist what is. The desire to control outcomes fades, replaced by trust in divine timing and universal intelligence. This is where true peace resides, not in the absence of struggle, but in the awareness that you are bigger than all struggles combined. 7. The path to continuous awakening. Awakening is not a one-time event, but a lifelong process. You may rise to higher levels of consciousness, fall back temporarily, and rise again, each cycle bringing deeper understanding. The goal is not perfection, but awareness of the present moment. Every experience, pleasant or painful, carries a message that guides your evolution. To sustain awakening, cultivate daily practices that nourish your inner world. Meditation keeps your mind clear, reflection keeps your heart open, and kindness keeps your vibration high. Surround yourself with people and environments that reflect peace and growth rather than fear and drama. Energy is contagious. What you absorb from others shapes your own state. Also, protect your inner silence. In a noisy world, stillness becomes sacred. It's in stillness that you hear the whispers of your higher self guiding your path. Continuous awakening means you stop identifying with fleeting emotions and recognize yourself as the eternal witness behind them. When you live this truth, external circumstances lose their power to disturb your inner balance. The more you awaken, the more you realize that everything, joy, pain, loss, love, was always working together to bring you closer to your highest self. Awareness expands endlessly, and each moment becomes an opportunity to remember who you truly are. Pure consciousness, ever present and infinite. Remember, your consciousness shapes your reality. Rise above fear and embrace courage, love, and awareness. Repeat, I am aware, I am powerful, I am evolving. Comment this below, Pure Quantum Family.